Hi, everyone. My name is Ruchika Dubey, and I'm the host of this session today. Today, we are going to talk about how cybercrime is at peak and how important it is to know and acknowledge cybercrime laws in today's digital era. Today, we have with us Advocate Poulami Das, who is BA LLB and LLM from Calcutta University, Hazra campus, and she's one of the very profound New Age advocates who is specialized in tort and crime and has practiced in Chandirmagor Subdivisional Court. So, hi, ma'am. Welcome to the session. Would you like to introduce yourself for our audience to know you better?
Yes, hello, good afternoon. Thank you, Ruchika, for selecting me. And I'm Paulami Das, to be precise, Advocate Paulami Das. I have completed my BLLB honors from Department of Law, University of Calcutta, Hadra campus in the year of 2018, and also have completed my LLM from the same institution in the year of 2020. And my specialization is in tort and crime. And also, I have practiced in Chandanagar subdivisional court, and also I'm a member of their criminal bar association. Criminal law attracts me because I found various sections and everything. It's very interesting, it's like quite knowledgeable and informative.
Indeed. So, ma'am, we will straight away go on the questions that a lot of people have about cyber crimes. So, like for me, cybercrime is like increasing and it's at the peak. Since the last 2 years, since everything is digitalized, payments are digitalized, our classes are digitalized. The whole education system has seen a evolution in this
Right.
whole 2 years of the pandemic. So, I'd like to ask you, what is cybercrime according to you? And how was your experience practicing criminal laws?
Okay, so basically, if we go through the Indian laws, be it Indian Penal Code or any other sort of laws, we can never get the exact definition of cyber crime. But as we can know, cyber, the word cyber is related to something which is into technology, and which we cannot see. Basically, cyber law is something that is intangible, or if you say cyber technology, it is intangible. We cannot see it. We can only feel it, or we can use it. So as we cannot see it, basically, so there is higher chances of criminals getting involved in it. And crimes are increasing day by day as maximum of our life. We depend on technology, information technology, basically. So cybercrime is something that is related to computer, the crime which is related to computer and especially related to internet.
Yes.
Okay, and as I have practiced criminal law, I have seen many segments and also various sections which deal with cybercrime. Specifically, we can consult Information Technology Act 2000, and it is based maximum. It is based on our cybercrime and the punishments related to cybercrime, various kinds of cybercrime. There are various kinds of, and the specific thing that we need to keep in mind: women and children. These two are the most vulnerable sections of the society, and thus the cybercrime, each and every kind of crime, including cybercrime, women and children, they are becoming the victims. They are mostly they are the victims of this kind of crime.
Yes, ma'am, I absolutely agree to you because teenagers these days they don't know how much they should consume the technologies, and in being inclined towards being tech savvy, they are like doing wrong. They're learning hacking, and they don't even know that's a cyber crime, and they are doing it wrong. So I absolutely agree to you, ma'am. So my next question to you is: cybercrimes are increasing day by day. What do you think is the main reason behind it?
Okay, so cybercrime is increasing day by day. The main reason behind it is information technology, or if we take web, World Wide Web. But the thing we do not know, we just use 10% or 20% of the web, and the rest of it is 80%. It belongs to the dark web. If we go to the concept of the dark web, there we can find it is very easy for all of the criminals to keep themselves hide, as they keep themselves hidden. Why they can do it very easily? As we use information technology, we do not know what we are using, whether the link that we are going through or the URL we are visiting, whether it is safe or not. So it is getting very easier for the criminals to make a duplicate looking links that we are visiting through. though criminals are making it, it looks similar to the domain name, to the exact domain name, but somehow it is taking us to the fake site, it is taking us to the darker web, and it's literally next to impossible to catch any of the criminals, those who are dealing with dark webs, because they are very much enhanced with it. But if you talk about hacking, there are two kinds of hacking which we know. It's ethical hacking and non-ethical hacking. So basically, right now the teenagers, they are mostly vulnerable to the unethical hacking, because they do not know that ethical hacking, it needs certain permissions from the government and from the competent authorities.
Yes, I absolutely agree that, this whole cybercrime and cyber extortion, that whatever takes place, it's also because of, how much people are like unknown about the fact that there are two kinds of hacking. So, ma'am, my next question to you is, cybercrime are neglected by the underprivileged section of the society. Like,
Right.
you can see that cybercrime is like the knowledge about cybercrime or cyber forgery or trolling or extortion is known to the educational class and not to
Yes.
the underprivileged,
Right.
section. So, how do you think that we can prevent this?
Okay, so for preventing cybercrime, we need to create cyber awareness. Although there is cyber awareness week, cyber awareness vigilance, many sort of movements have been taken into account till now, but nothing has been done for the underprivileged group of our society, as they are not tech savvy. Even most of the families, those who live below poverty line, they can't even afford a phone, a smartphone specifically. So when they come into like this technology era, or when they are using any sort of new kind of technology, they get confused, and most of them either they become the victim of the cybercrime, or else they commit the cybercrime. So basically what we can do, it can be done from the part of the government or the NGOs or the bigger NGOs, I can say, that what they can do, they can go to them, and they will have to teach them, properly teach them regarding the cyber awareness, kinds of cybercrime like cyber stalking, then cyber defamation, cyber extortion, everything that has to be taught to them. And for that, what is typically needed, it is needed that we need to teach them what is a phone, or whether what they are using as an internet, what they are thinking as the safest site, whether all those websites are safe or not. And for that, we need to give them like lesson and practical lesson. Not only that, we should teach them the bookish language, because from books anyone can learn anything, but to the people, those who are illiterate, they need practical lessons. And for that, proper steps are to be taken, also from the side of our government, also from the NGOs.
I absolutely agree with you, ma'am, because since like we neglect the underprivileged, society, and we don't give them that attention that they require, they are still lacking. They don't even know about their fundamental rights, that they have the right to vote, they have the freedom of speech and expression. They should know. And I think, because of the people, because of a huge number of, people in our society, they don't know what cybercrime is and where to stop.
Right.
Consuming media, social media is has a lot of loopholes. So I think we should all abide by the criminal laws, and I absolutely agree to you. So, ma'am, my next question to you will be, how do you think that being tech savvy has become a concern for this new age?
Okay, so being tech savvy, what nowadays the teenagers are specifically doing, as they are doing all the online classes and their private tuitions have also become online. So basically, they are consuming most of the time of their day, like around 16 to 18 hours on their phone. So being tech savvy is a good thing, but excessive. If we take it simply, you can take the medications. If we take it on overdose, it affects our health. That is the thing. That same thing that is affecting our present generation being tech savvy. They are getting prone, like they are getting very much closer to the to various kinds of cyber criminals, and thus they are getting exploited by them. As you can see, if we are talking about the teenage girls, they do not know whom they are talking to in Instagram or in Facebook or in any kind of social media, whether that person, how that person looks like in real life. They do not know. They just go on chatting with them, and after that, sort of various sort of cyber crimes are getting caught red-handed. We can also see. So, and also being tech savvy, that one thing, it is also I want to bring in account of the parents, that is the eyesight of us, it is also getting affected. as we know, being tech savvy and getting remaining busy in our phone, whether it is in our phone or in laptop or whatever it is. So our eyesight is also getting damaged. But apart from all these things, that specifically the teenagers, they are becoming the victims of the cybercrime, as they do not know where to stop, or they just don't have any sort of idea regarding the dark web, or whether they are researching about the dark web. Then they are then a tendency is growing inside them of being a cyber criminal, as I can commit a cybercrime and no one is there who can catch me.
True. Ma'am, I also have a point to add on this, that, since like the whole pandemic situation since March 2022, that now we are going to enter in March the next month, like after next month, March 2022. So it's been 2 years of, and it's been hell of a ride for teachers, students, and especially for the students, because they're missing school students, they're missing a huge part of their real life world, because everything cannot, yes, in today's society technology is very important, and you have to know about technology to upgrade yourself, and so that you can match your steps with the world. But I think it has had a lot of cons on the students and the kids, because they don't know what to consume and what kind of content they're consuming and where to put a full stop. And the whole work from home culture and the peer pressure has become, like, has come to an extent where people don't realize that we are going wrong, and parents are so busy and so occupied that they cannot put an eye on their children. So yes, I absolutely agree with you that consumption of dark web is very wrong, and the information is so easily available these days that it's like not hard for anybody to know. Every other person who is into tech is turning to be a hacker, and this is threatening indeed. So, my next question to you is, what is your take on cyber extortion and trolling, like online trolling on social
Right.
media?
Okay. So basically, if we go to the literal meaning of extortion, extortion means threatening someone according to the IPC, Indian Penal Code 1860. Extortion is defined under Section 383. So extortion means threatening any person to put either that person or any other person who is relating to that person in danger, or to put any property to that person in danger, and to take money out from that person. That's what we call extortion in IPC. So basically, cyber extortion is also kind of the same thing. It's basically you want to take advantage of the victim who is being the victim of that cyber extortion. The person who is the hacker or who is the criminal, that person basically wants to take the advantage out of that victim, and that person just hurt that person, whether emotionally or however. Basically, when we are talking about cyber extortion, it has nothing to do with physical harm. It basically harms, whatever harm it causes, it is psychological and mental. So extortion is a criminal activity, like it is a criminal activity in our normal laws. It is enlisted under the Indian Penal Code. And by this trolling, if we can when we go through the YouTube, we can see there are various YouTubers, they basically roast other person, so they are just making fun of the other person and making money of it. So we are living in that kind of generation where both of, if you can say, the trolling or the roasting of other person, it has become like it has neutral effect on society. But if we come to the cyber extortion, or if we come specifically to cyber defamation, it is something that needs to be stopped ASAP. Like it has to be stopped, because hurting a person, whether the reputation of the person or whatever it is, and taking advantage of that person out of that trolling or whatever, that is something, it needs to be checked properly, and it must not be neglected. Because these all sort of cyber extortion or cyber defamation or trolling or roasting, whatever it is, ultimately leads to another crime, that is abatement of suicide. Because every person can never take that extortion or defamation or trolling, whatever you say, positively, or every person cannot handle it. Our mentality differs. So basically, one crime leads to the other crime. If we talk about defamation or cyber extortion, ultimately it is leading to something else, that is something closely related to abatement of suicide or any other crime. Like we are if the criminal is extorting, he's doing that cyber extortion, he's committing cyber extortion to someone else. Now if the victim comes to know about the criminal, and if that the victim can commit another crime to stop that crime. So basically one wrong cannot make the other wrong right, we know that. So it needs to be checked properly, and proper cyber laws, as we know, cyber crime is something that cannot be seen, it can only be felt. So this proper cyber laws has to be developed. Yet it is developing, but it needs to be developed, strong laws, stronger laws.
I absolutely agree with you, and I like to tell everyone throughout this medium that start accepting yourselves and start accepting however people are. And if you don't like somebody on social media, just don't follow, and you
Right.
don't need to go and keep on abusing on them, on their parents and the people they love, and keep on trolling them all the time, because trolling has a very bad negative effect in you, because you just
Absolutely.
start feeling so, in this world where we are already suffering a lot since the past 2 years, the least we can do is add up to somebody's pressure you know
Yes.
so trolling leads to negative impact. People become insecure, they cannot accept themselves. So all I can say about this trolling is, nowadays you cannot hide, because there are strict criminal cyber criminal crime laws that are being implemented now, these days. So all I can say is, like, be very acceptable towards yourself, and be very acceptable towards your fellow human beings that are parallelly existing with you. So I really appreciate that there are lawyers like you, and there is this whole judicial system that India is having, so that we can be safe and secure.
Absolutely.
So my next question to you is, how important do you think cybercrime laws are, and how can we disseminate it, like spread awareness about it in the society?
Yeah. So cybercrime laws, nowadays it is helping a lot. As we can see in maximum district, they are having, the police stations are having different cybercrime cells to stop or to locate basically the cyber criminals. And cybercrime laws nowadays, it has become much stronger than it was before, especially after the Information Technology Amendment Act of 2008. It has become much stronger. And also it is very important to make the people, make the citizens of the society aware about the cybercrime, because more or less we are also being the part of the society. We need to differentiate between what is wrong and what is right. And in that, if we can make the people aware about the cybercrime, then, as we know that prevention is better than cure, so more or less we can prevent the cybercrime. Yeah, as it is, like it cannot be seen, so it is impossible to say that we can prohibit cybercrime. No, neither of the crimes can be prohibited. It is the ultimate truth, neither of the crimes can be prohibited. uh, you can impose stricter penal sections, but imposing stricter punishments also cannot guarantee that each and every kind of crimes can be prohibited. No, it cannot be prohibited. But being aware, we can prevent crimes, and it is also the same case in cybercrime, that we being aware or properly knowing about the cyber laws or how to handle internet or information technology, we can prevent the cybercrime.
I absolutely agree that the more we can never put an end to
No.
crimes, and especially cyber crimes. But yes, of course, the more educated the society is, they will become we'll become more smart, to handle the faults and the defaults of the society. So I absolutely agree with you again. So my next question is, how do you think the whole CSAM thing and the pornography thing is getting into hype because of this whole telegram? Because there was a case study which I studied in this my media ethics laws and ethics class. There was this teenage girl who was, like, made fool, and her CSAM materials were all over the telegram. So I like to know that, how is the CSAM and cybercrime interrelated, and how often do girls get in this scam?
Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier, that women and children are the most vulnerable section of the society, and they are very much prone to each and every kind of crime, be it cybercrime or be it any kind of crime. So basically, the teenage girls, they do not, at least from my point of view, I want to tell all of the parents of the teenage girls or boys, whoever it is. So the teenagers, the parents, that they need to check on their kids, and the case that you right now that you have discussed, that is something the girl was not aware. And right now, the thing which we are having inside our phone is just it's just an email ID, and our phone is just up to date. We need to set up all of our accounts through that one mail ID. So basically, that I was talking about the darker web that we do not know, that is the 80% of the actual web, that is the dark web. So we do not know where the hacker is actually getting the chance of taking any sort of explicit content of any person. So my phone is my private, it is absolutely my private property. And according to Article 21 of Right to Life and Personal Liberty, my phone belongs to me. But what about the email ID that I am setting up in my phone? And also, we are taking backup of our photos in Google. Do we really know the limit of that Google photos, or actually who else can handle those Google photos? So hackers are getting chances, various chances. So what we need to do, we absolutely if we want to back up the photos, we need to be very careful regarding backing up all the photos. And also, it's it's the personal opinion of mine, and obviously I don't want to put my opinion on everyone, but it's my personal opinion that clicking personal photos, especially of own or of own and partner, whatever it is, or intimate moments, it has to be stopped, because at a certain point of time we need to uh, we need to check on our own activities. More or less, somewhere we are contributing. It is our negligence or our contributory negligence that from which the hackers are getting chances of getting our explicit content. So basically, we need to check on our activities, be it a teenage girl or a boy or whoever it is. We need to get a good control over our activities, especially when we are doing all those activities related to our phone or laptop, and especially with internet.
I, as a girl and as a abiding journalist, all I want to, put in front of the people about this whole CSAM and pornography thing is that yes, we are very negligent towards the Google and the darker web, because being belonging from a digital background, I know exactly where they get things from, and how, like, teenage girls and boys are so negligent. They keep on, tapping on links, they'll keep on logging and registering on sites they should not visit. And I think this is the main reason that they are getting exploited. But always grateful to the Indian laws and to all the people like you who are there to always help people and get them out of it, because this is the worst that can happen to any teenager, because it will have a very lifelong impact on the child. And this doesn't happen at the age when you're mature and all, because when you're mature and then you're educated and you know about the laws, you'll be extra cautious. This happens with teenagers. So I think parents play a very, humongous role in this. So my next question and my last question for this session is about cybersecurity. So what is your take on cybersecurity of our nation and your honest reviews on it, and the new IT laws which was brought, couple of months back? What do you think about it?
Okay, the term cybersecurity, it is defined under Section 2, subsection 1, clause NB of the Information Technology Act 2000. So basically, cybersecurity is something that is related to the security. It means to provide a secure or a lock to the thing which we want to protect. So cybersecurity is something protection of the cyber laws. Now, cybersecurity, our government is doing, at least I can say, being a law abiding citizen, our government is doing its level best to protect our cyber security or to protect our cyber laws. Or it has also been seen that lots of laws has been amended just to take proper check on the cyber crimes. So basically, government is playing a vital role and government is doing its best. But what we can do, being the citizen of our country, and also being self cautious for us, cybersecurity is something that we can read in book, that also we can see in law. But laws come to effect when we, all the citizens, we think of abiding by the laws. We need to abide by the laws. So basically, what we need to do, we need to become extra cautious and we need to check whether to click on that link or not. And also, it's my earnest request, not only earnest, my humble request to all of the parents out there, especially the parents of the teenagers, those who are having also work from home. I know they are also having peer pressure of their work, but still, their children are using phones or laptops around 16 to 18 hours every day. So basically, they need to check on each and every activities of their child, because internet is something, it is very good. If you can use it properly, it can be very fruitful. But if you do not have any control of over using the internet, then it can become disastrous. It can destroy every human life. It can. So what we need to do, we need to properly follow all the guidelines that our government has laid down for us, not only for the advocates but for each and every citizen. We need to maintain all those guidelines. And before checking or before using internet, at first I think all the parents should teach their children that this is the limit of their children to use the internet. Like their children might not must not use, at least must not use any other site except for their studies, except for their information. And the parents also must check on the history. I know history can be deleted very easily, but the parents need to be very cautious. And also for the adults, I want to say something, that it's very fine to back up your photos on Google and everything, but we should check on each and everything of our activity, because each and every social media of ours or each and every accounts of ours are interlinked with each other. So before receiving any call from any unknown number or before clicking to any sort of links, we must check its authenticity. At least we can what we can do, we can Google about that link. I am not telling that type that link on that Google, obviously not. At least we can also search by any other method in Google. So basically, before using internet, we need to be very careful. We need to check all of our activities.
I'll absolutely agree with you about the cybersecurity thing, because yes, our nation, our country's judicial system and laws that are being put in force and are implemented, they are trying hard. But I will like to request all the people out there who's watching this and everyone, that cybersecurity and media literacy is something which is within you. Being a media literate is very important, because only consumption of media doesn't helps. You need to know that there are certain restrictions. You just cannot go and end up abusing any influencer out there on the social media, because they're content creating to entertain you. They're a part of your content entertainment section of the entertainment world. So you're consuming them, but you need to know how to behave, and what kind of content to consume and what to not. And also, adding to whatever you said about the kids and the parent thing, there are a lot of websites and there are a lot of platforms which allows a parent controlling, you know like Netflix also has this you know option where you when parents can control what their kids are watching. So it's a very good initiative by Netflix and by every other platform who's using this feature, so that we can put an end to this whole cybercrime thing, and we can have a safe and secure world. So I would like to wrap up this session with you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming for the last minute and allowing me to take your interview. It was pleasure having you. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you so much.